I just got done spending the entire day at Universal's newest park, Epic Universe, for a friends and family preview. There was very strictly no photography and no video recording of any kind, but I'm gonna give you guys my spoiler-free review of the handful of attractions I got to do today. For number 6, I'm going Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge over in Super Nintendo World. I don't know how identical this one is compared to the Hollywood counterpart. I would assume they're pretty one and the same. I really like that it's a dark ride and there's a lot of physical sets to it, but I didn't like the visor you had to wear. Either I couldn't figure out how to necessarily do it correctly, or it wasn't as effective as I thought it was going to be. Although I will say the best part about it, the queue. So many Easter eggs, so many great things, the sense of scale, that's what I love most about it. Number 5, we're going with Hiccup's Wing Gliders over at How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk TM. And this is baby's first Hagrid's. This was really, really fun. It has a little bit more of a surprise bite to it. There's a bit of G-force they throw in there that was pretty unexpected. As you can tell in the photo, there's some great scenes where you go by some water and some water kicks up. Not as intense or as exciting as Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure TM. And I feel like this is one that needs to have multiple repeats for me to really learn to enjoy it even more. Number 4, we're headed back over to Super Nintendo World for Minecart Madness, which is the Donkey Kong coaster. I like this coaster more than I liked Hiccup's Wing Gliders. I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I obviously grew up with Nintendo. This was the attraction I was most looking forward to when the first concept of the park started to come out, because of the unique track system and how it looks like you're jumping over the empty track. A lot more surprising tight turns than I anticipated with it, and it's actually a little bit rougher than you think it would be, and I assume that's intentional because we're on a minecart jumping over missing tracks, so it felt very thematically appropriate. So just like with Hiccups, it's a great Junior Plus coaster, so not quite your Barnstormer over at Magic Kingdom, but more in the vein of like Slinky Dog Dash. Now I'm actually surprising myself with how high I ended up putting this, but Le Cirque Arcanu, which is actually a show over in the new Wizarding World section, I was open-mouthed, amazed at just about every aspect of this show. There is some great special effects. We'll say as the show went on, there were some things towards the end that I didn't really care for. This was a very unique show, lots of great surprises, and of course live entertainment is incredibly important for theme parks, and I'm really glad that they have a dedicated theater for this show. Coming in tied for first, it was so hard to judge these because I wanted to separate them as two different coasters, but we're talking about Stardust Racers, which has two different sides, yellow and green, and it is so hard to pick which one was my favorite. I think when I finally have a breakdown of every attraction I do, I will fully separate these. I felt like yellow had more airtime, but green side had more G's. That's just from riding one side each, and I sat in the back on green side, and I think yellow we sat about 3rd or 4th row in, but an amazing coaster. Not as intense as Velocicoaster, but there is a lot of intensity with this coaster. It is a can't miss attraction. Like, if there is one great coaster to be in this park, it's these guys. Those are the 6 attractions we got to experience today. We are going back tomorrow for another dip into the park to try and do more attractions, either repeats on things we really loved today, things we didn't get to do today, like Monsters Unchained or the Yoshi Island People Mover style attraction. So I'm very excited to go back. It is an absolutely beautiful park. I'm so ready for this park to open. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to go once this park officially opens, so I'm super grateful to be able to experience this park as an early preview with less people. We got to try a bunch of food. We got to step foot in almost every single part of the park. And I really wish I could say more, but I don't know what I can say, and I obviously don't want to give spoilers. So follow along if you guys want to see more from this park. Follow along if you guys want to see more from just theme parks in general. We're mostly a Disney Channel. This park is bringing its A game to the table. The hype is real.